One careless decision nearly destroyed Jane's future, but one honest conversation changed everything. Morning light filled the quiet workspace as Jane arrived early, carrying a notebook crowded with questions, crossed-out calculations, and reminders of choices she wished she had handled differently. For weeks, she had felt trapped by financial mistakes. Every bill seemed heavier, every decision more confusing, and every new risk reminded her of the consequences she had already faced. Across the desk sat an experienced mentor who did not begin with criticism. Instead, the mentor asked Jane to explain what had happened, why she had made each choice, and what she had hoped would happen at the time. Jane opened her notebook and carefully described the moments when fear, impatience, and incomplete information had pushed her toward poor decisions. Speaking honestly was uncomfortable, but hiding the mistakes would only make them harder to understand. The mentor listened, then showed Jane that failure rarely comes from one dramatic moment. It often grows from many small details that are ignored. Unclear goals, rushed promises, missing records, and decisions made without checking the possible consequences. Together, they reviewed each mistake without shame. One by one, confusing events became clear patterns. Jane began to see where she had acted too quickly, where she had trusted assumptions, and where she had avoided asking for help. The mentor explained that safer financial decisions begin with simple habits. Write down the goal, check the numbers, understand the risks, leave room for unexpected costs. Never agree to something that cannot be clearly explained. Jane recorded every lesson. Her notes no longer looked like evidence of failure. They became a map showing where she had been, what she had learned, and how she could choose a better path next time. Sunlight moved slowly across the pages while the conversation continued. The mentor shared examples from past experience, including mistakes that once felt embarrassing but later became valuable lessons. That honesty surprised Jane. She had imagined that experienced people never failed. Now she understood that wisdom was not the absence of mistakes. It was the ability to study them, correct them, and avoid repeating them. The mentor helped Jane separate urgent problems from long-term goals. First came the actions that protected her immediately. Next came a realistic plan for rebuilding stability. Finally came the habits that could support a more secure future. Jane learned to pause before every important decision. She would ask what she knew, what she did not know, who could verify the information, and what might happen if the plan failed. They also discussed the danger of anxiety. When fear controls the mind, even a small problem can feel impossible. A written plan could reduce that pressure by turning a frightening situation into a series of manageable steps. The warm coffee beside Jane slowly cooled, but she barely noticed. For the first time in months, the future did not look like a wall. It looked like a road with signs, choices, and room to change direction. As the session continued, Jane organized her notebook into clear sections. Current responsibilities, future goals, warning signs, questions to ask, and actions that should never be rushed. Each section gave her more confidence. The mistakes were still real, but they no longer controlled the story. They had become information she could use. Outside the window, the garden remained calm. Leaves moved gently in the breeze, and the steady rhythm of nature reflected the clarity slowly taking root inside the room. Before the meeting ended, the mentor asked Jane to explain the plan in her own words. Jane spoke carefully, describing the steps she would take, the risks she would avoid, and the people she would consult before making major commitments. The mentor corrected a few details, then nodded. Jane had not solved every problem in one morning, but she had gained something equally important, a reliable method for moving forward. She packed her notebook, secured the final papers, and looked at the tidy desk. The space that had once felt tense now seemed peaceful, as though the room itself had witnessed the weight lifting from her shoulders. When Jane stepped outside, the world looked brighter. Nothing around her had magically changed, yet her understanding had changed, and that made every challenge feel more manageable. On the walk home, she repeated the mentor's most important lesson: progress does not require perfect decisions. It requires honest review, patient correction, and the humility to learn from someone with greater experience. The road ahead still contained uncertainty, but Jane was no longer walking without direction. Every future choice would be guided by clearer goals, careful questions, and respect for the lessons hidden inside past failures. As afternoon light softened across the path, Jane felt gratitude replace worry. The consultation had cost only a small part of her day, yet the knowledge gained could protect years of effort. By sunset, she was ready to begin again, not by forgetting her mistakes, but by transforming them into wisdom, structure, and a stronger financial foundation for the future. A wiser tomorrow began with the courage to ask, listen, learn, and change today again.